This land is your land, this land is your land, from the California to the New York Island, from the to the, this land was made for you and scene. It is the year 2019. I stand in a school auditorium amidst immigrant and ESL students. They could not keep quiet today. Teacher expresses her disappointment. Look stage right, Mr. Adams. Do you have anything you'd like to say? Mr. Adams tells us, you just don't know what you want. And true, our youthful bones sit silently in the unknowingness, in the future is still ahead of us, in the still trying to learn Mr. Adams' language kind of sense. No, we don't know what we want. Mr. Adams tells us, you don't know how to treat your freedom. And true, see, Mr. Adams, we are still looking for it, searching between home country and this land which you call yours, laced in all of your whiteness. So no, we don't know how to treat our freedom. See how our accents mean that some part of this is not our own. It is handed over to us by you, then taken away from us by you, Mr. White Man. Pardon, prostimi now, Mr. Adams, how your type of freedom must feel. Mr. Adams tells us, maybe it was better before you had tasted this sweetness, and we think maybe we have been led to poisonous tree with the prettiest little apples. But Mr. Adams, we do not know the word for poison. We did not know it was not our time to eat. So we sit silent with sugar-filled mouths, ashamed to have eaten from your tree, Mr. Adams. We think you may be playing God again, and how we don't trust him either. Mr. Adams says, maybe we should monitor you more closely, stands above her, breathes down her neck, asks questions he knows she won't answer, and she does not look up at him. Only become smaller, Mr. Adams, don't you love it? When we only become smaller. Mr. Adams comes up with a better idea, excitement in his voice and smirk upon his face. Maybe I should call your parents, pull them out of work, have them hold your hands everywhere you go. And wouldn't you know how lovely it would be to hold our parents' hands, Mr. Adams? See how Father knows only of work, loves me in every dime he begs me to have, but doesn't know how to dry my tears, doesn't ask me questions, Mr. Adams. Why aren't you asking us any questions? Why are our voices so hard for you to hear? And in the end, Mr. Adams tells us how it doesn't really matter, because at least he can sleep at night. Because Mr. Adams knows who Mr. Adams is, unlike us, stuck between homeland and his land, between learning his language and keeping our own. And when Mr. Adams directs them to leave, no questions, no lockers, only the sounds of their seats, I too stand. Say nothing. Mr. Adams, you really know how to get a silent crowd. The voice come chanting as the fog was sinking. This land was made for you and me.